Hello there everybody, you're the audience, my name is Supersonic Blur, and welcome to another deck breakdown for Hand of the Gods. Today, we're going over one of the stupidest decks that I think has ever been in the entirety of the game of Hand of the Gods. Like, I've spoken with a couple others, and yeah, this deck is just stupid in a lot of ways. And I was originally going to bring you this video a couple of days ago. It's called ExodiRa. And the basic idea is that there's a very strong combo that was out at the current time, which was two jars. You then, once you have the 2 jars, canopic jars, the idea of the deck was that you used the 2 canopic jars along with Pharaoh's Health and something like Focus Blast, and that was 8 plus 8 plus 9, which is 25. As a result, you could kill someone fairly easily. So the idea was that you just blow someone out of the water from 25 health, and it was very strong. You use appeasement to be able to get a lot of the damage through. And it changed slightly. They nerfed Pharaoh's Health, as you can see. It's gone from doing 4 health to plus 3. So it's now 6 plus 6 plus 9, which is 21. So they nerfed the combo on it. However, at the same time, they also gave us Thoth. Thoth, whenever a friendly is healed, deal 2 damage to all enemies on the same row as Thoth. Here's the issue with Thoth. Thoth hits the stone. That means that every time something is healed, Thoth deals 2 damage. If you put 2 Thoths on the same row, and that same row happens to be on the row with the stone, you blow someone out of the water. This now means that ExodiRa is now more Railgun Ra. It's a slight change. You can still ExodiRa someone with the same sort of combo, but it's slightly different. Khepri was a card which I looked at and tried to fit into the old ExodiRa. Now, though, ExodiRa, with the ExodiRa, you fit in your 2 Khepris, and you fit in 2 Thoths, and, well, you get some pretty scary things happening, like this. Yeah, that was a full health from 25, that was nuts. Absolute nuts. And that was without me attacking with any of the big stuff. So, yeah. This deck is scary. So, what is this deck? Well, let's go over it, because I feel like I need to show it to you guys. I'm going to use ExodiRa, because I like that skin. It's a nice skin. I like it. So, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add in Pharaoh's Health. I still like running the card. It's still a nice chunk of burst, and it helps you with the idea of the deck, so we're going to run that in. Sobek is amazing for this deck. You have an amazing early game potential with this card. It enables you to just blow up stuff, and if you have a lot of healing in the deck, this helps you count towards it, and so as a result, this thing gets big, hits the stone a couple times, it limits the amount of damage you're searching for in the rest of your deck. Sobek is pretty scary, and if your opponent's running silences, they have to look at this as the only viable target, or they're looking at your draw options, at which point then you make them choose. Do you target my draw cards, or do you target the big Sobek? Naturally, they'll deal with the most prevalent threat, which is the big Sobek, rather than the cards that you draw. So we'll drop that in. Next, we're going to run Appeasement, because you just kind of really need to run Appeasement. It's a really good card for it makes this whole combo go live on a single turn, which means you don't have to worry about, oh, I'm just going to drop one of these things out and try and burst it, and then if they kill it all off, you're just screwed. So from that regard, this works out very nicely. We're going to run 2 of those in. The next one for the 3 drops we are going to look at is... Where are you? Where are you? Is Argus. There you are. Because so many of the other cards in this deck are gods, this is a fantastic draw for you. Out of all the minions, only the Argus, Canopic Jars, which are technically minions, and one other card in this are technically not gods. So as a result, This thing lets you draw a lot of cards. You get some draws off very nicely. This helps you with your earlier side of things, like your Bastets and Circuits, which you're going to run in here, along with your Sobex. You know, that's great. Even Gebs and things lets you draw a card. So, that's pretty good. So, we're going to run 2 of those. Now, I made headway and mention of things like Bastet. We're going to run the Bastet. Surprisingly enough, in an OTK with Canopic Jar, you are going to run Canopic Jar, so we will run that in there. After that, we're going to also run things like Circuit, because this enables us to stall out a little bit more. It also enables us to give us a bit of an early presence, which is a scary thing, is this deck actually has a really good early presence. We're also going to run a couple more draw cards, so we're going to quickly skip on back here. We're going to run Elder Harpy. Elder Harpy basically makes this deck a 23 card deck, which is amazing. For anyone who has played card games like Yu-Gi-Oh! In Yu-Gi-Oh! You used to run always Upstart Goblin, and the reason for that is you don't care about giving your opponent additional health. It was a card that you got, so you used to be able to run it and say, I have another card. It limits the amount of cards actually in your deck and makes the deck so much faster. So with this, we're making a 23 card deck. If we have this, it's on board. Not only that, but the 2/3 body, if it sticks around, you can use for appeasement. So this card gets even more value off of actually being a card rather than just something like Ward, which says draw 2 cards. This adds a little bit more tempo on top of that. So we're going to add in 2 Elder Harpy. It's also free, so that's absolutely brilliant. Next thing we're also going to run is 2 Sacred Warriors. The reason we're running 2 Sacred Warriors is because, again, it's really good draw. So many cards in this deck count towards healing, so, you know, there's absolutely no reason to not run Sacred Warrior. So we're going to run in Sacred Warrior. As I mentioned, we've already got the Circuit. Other cards that you can look as a one-off, Magma Slam is a perfectly fine one-off. The card that I have as a one-off is Focus Blast. My reason for this is it's 3 damage, which, again, Magma Slam does as well, but it's also that additional benefit of getting some healing on, which is great. I like running 1 Focus Blast, so I'm going to run 1 of those. Next thing we're going to run is 2 Khepri. Having 2 Khepri makes the deck run so well. And also as well, it makes the combo potential insane. The amount of instances of healing that this guy can get, even if they're just on cards that you keep in hand. So, Jar Jar Thoth Thoth. That's 4 instances of other healing. That's amazing. So we're going to run 2 of those. Lastly, as well, the other cards we're going to run 2 Geb, and of course, 2 Thoth. Other variations that you can do, you can run things like Ritual Tribute. Ritual Tribute will draw off of Argus because you're spawning a god. It can also help with, depending on what cards have already died, you can get back things like Bastets, Circuits, and Sobex are the main targets that you're looking for, considering they have the most impact with the board state. If you get back something like a Thoth, though, then you've done something wrong because you shouldn't have let a Thoth die. If you are going to run things like that, then the cards you're really going to look at dropping out are things like Focus Blast, maybe Circuit, but she is a god, so that's pretty useful for you. You can drop out Elder Harpy if you want to go for a slightly more controlly orientated, if you think that you're going to draw through the rest of your deck. I'm just sticking this in here because, like I said, it makes a 23 card deck. So, that is the deck list, and the general goal is you draw a lot of your cards in your deck. You're not super concerned about your health total, but the thing that you have to make sure is you have to make sure that the 2 squares that are on the same row as your summoning stone, you do not, under any circumstance, let those get occupied by your opponent's minions, and if they do, you have to get rid of those, especially on turns coming up to where you want to go off, because guess what? If you can't put your Thoth on those parts of the board, then you can't hit Thoth into the stone. So I'm actually going to do this one slightly differently. I already have a game pre-recorded using this deck, which is actually against Pop Pie, so I'm going to let that play, and then I'm going to come back and talk a little bit more about it. So, for you guys now, enjoy this gameplay, and I will see you once that is done.
Good luck. My blood. shall treat them with honor.
Another group of immortals in need of a lesson, is it? Very well. I shan't spare my brethren a little education.
The glow. Stand and fight! Bathe the glow. Stand and fight!
Let us do this by the book. Let us do this by the book.
I bring the light itself.
Alright then, so now that you had a look at that video, you can see this deck has insane amounts of reach and it is just incredibly scary. So I'm going to show you another one. This is going to be against the AI just because I want to talk a little bit more about the specifics of the deck and break it down. I didn't put any over-the-top commentary on the other game just because I wanted to let you guys sit back and watch and see some of these things. If there are any questions or anything you have with regards to that, then let me know in the comment section down below. I may have gone in editing and pause the video ever so slightly and put in little inserts. But again, I don't know what I've done yet. That's in the future. So, as it stands, this hand here isn't too bad a hand. I will drop the Pharaoh's health though, but everything else I'm going to keep because that's a combo piece, that's a combo piece, and that's a good thing for a combo piece. This one can be a combo piece, but I don't particularly need it, so I'd rather look for a Sobek. You can hard mull for a Sobek if you want. There's absolutely no reason not to. So yeah, I'm just gonna... Oh, I guess I keep all the pieces anyway because I ran out of time. Never mind then. I guess we will be keeping our Pharaoh's health. So he goes for a backstab, shows a very aggressive opening, another very aggressive opening. He's going to push 2 damage. This can be and I'm going to quote here, issue for the deck is super aggressive aggro, but in that situation, you use one of your Khepri and say, alright then, you do the you. What I am going to do in this situation, I think, is Mana Potion out the Sacred Warrior, because if he hits into the Sacred Warrior, he can't kill it unless he puts in more resources for it. Or in that situation, he just hits more stone and I get 2 draws off this next turn, which are very beneficial for us. So I'm going to Mana Potion that out this turn, and I'm going to put it back here. Normally, I wouldn't suggest being quite so liberal with your draw, just because if your opponent does screw you over with your draw, then you are very sad. If they don't, however, then you're fine. So Chaos Spawn is actually going to silence out this, which is a somewhat awkward situation, but is kind of fine in all other regards. I still have a 1/4 body to be able to do it. And also as well, that is a silence now using on one of my minions that, albeit it's the draw part of the deck, isn't too bad. And lo and behold, I draw the second one. So now it comes to the question of, do I drop the second one? I think I probably should, but let's see. That goes to 3. 2 is the same as 3, so it doesn't actually matter. The reason I say 2 is the same as 3, this hits for 2. 1/1 hits for 1, sorry. So 3 is the same as 2. So I will drop this down instead of floating mana. And again, even though I'm on 18 health, it doesn't matter. This doesn't matter that I'm on 18 health. Because now actually I can get a really nice, fat, chunky heal off of my... what's the word I'm looking for? I can get a very nice, chunky heal off of this Sacred Warrior. This doesn't matter. That was an order misplay. That should have been played first if he was going to do that, so that he got 2 shots, and, you know. Let's see. I can appeasement as well soon, which won't be a bad option, but for the first part, I'm just going to do this. Heal up, draw 2 cards. And look at that. I have both appeasements now. This means this hand is basically... Actually, this hand does cost almost all nothing. So that is pretty good. I could Pharaoh's health just to try and put myself in a little bit better of a situation. Also get a heal, which, judging by the situation, I think... Nah, at worst comes to worst, this dies next turn, which I'm fine with. So, am I fine with that? I guess in that situation, then, I will actually just throw a Pharaoh's health out because it's not too much of a problem to do so. Throw that out, get a Khepri. And I'll do this. And I'll do... I guess I will do this. Normally, I wouldn't be doing this, but I know I'm against the AI, so I will be slightly more liberal. Be very, like I said, be very, very careful with your draw here. You do need your draw. However, it seems like Odin is going pure face and ignoring my minions, which is a very bad idea. Do not do that. Alright then, so we used Fate. That's not too much of a problem. I'm in a very nice spot here. I can Sobek this and heal, which is insane value right now, honestly, doing this. Throw out a Sobek, get 2 of these things healed. That's all pretty good. I could have thrown out the Argus as well, but I would rather actually get a heal this turn. So because of that, like I said, I want to get the heal. I get 2 more cards heal. Be very careful about overdrawing as well. It is a big problem. If you burn combo pieces, you are kind of up the creek without a paddle. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards in hand. I'm fine to not worry about overdrawing. And the nice thing is you can hold off your overdrawing aspect because you're like, hey, it doesn't matter whether or not I quote-unquote overdraw here. So I should have enough here to punch in a lot of damage, even without the Canopic Jar. The reason what I can do here is I can just heal up my stone a lot, which is going to be very, very useful. probably going to have to heal up the stone a fair bit this turn, just because if I don't, then I am in a very sticky situation. So, because of that, what we're going to do is we are going to... what are we going to do, actually? That's a very good question. If I do this, drop this to here, hit this, I can draw 2 cards this turn if I wanted to. So what I'm going to do is, if I appeasement, I think appeasing is fine this turn. I'm going to appease the Sacred Warrior. It sounds weird for me to appease the draw of the deck, but at the same time, look at everything else I have. Everything is super cheap, so I'm fine with that. What I'm going to do now is just play off a Geb, and I'm going to use this Geb to heal up the front line. Put in a big body here. I'm going to put it here. I'm not too worried about this. Again, as I said, I'm more worried about getting this combo going. I have 1 Jaw and I have 1 Thoth. This is on 25 health, but now it's just a case of keeping this alive. So, once I've done this, my goal is just try and get that other Thoth. And I can do that with the Argus and with the other gods that I have, which is very useful because now that I have those other gods, this means that they're all cheap. And because they're all cheap, I am in a very good situation. He was going to freeze that. There was nothing I could do to stop him freezing that. It was kind of a given. You know, I can't stop everything from happening. But with Argus, with Bastet, not quite sure why he placed that there. That was a bit of an awkward spot for him. So he's going to throw that there. I'm fine with him throwing that there. At the end of the day, there's nothing I can do to stop it. So what I'm looking to do now is... oh, actually, I'm in a really awkward spot because that's frozen. That's a sneaky move. That's very nasty for me. So now I get to draw again, and I get to draw a lot by the looks of it. I'm going to throw... I can't throw you there. Damn you. If I throw this... here, I guess we'll do, because I still want to heal those up a bit. Let's see. I do also apologize as well. I know there has been a lot of frame stutters. This game has, in this current patch, has had a lot of lag issues. I'm not the only person complaining about it, so I can feel safe in the knowledge that it's not just me. I'm going to play Bastet because she'll be useful to have. I have the second Argus, which is nice. Going to play out the Circuit as well, just to draw up some stuff. I said I wanted to heal, so I should make sure that I do that this turn as well. So I will do that, and then the next thing I shall do is hit... I guess I'll hit this, and heal up the... Do I want to heal up the stone? I could heal up this. Heal up Sobek. I'm going to heal up the stone just to play on the absolute safe side. This dies to any one of these in this trait. But that's fine. Like I said, right now, my goal is just to try and keep myself alive. I have a lot of the combo pieces in hand already, and they're fairly cheap. I have a lot of minions on board as well, so from that regard, this second appeasement will pretty much just win me the game. He's going to hit the stone, which kind of sucks. The Venator Warcry should have been used on to either one of those units, and at that point, it's very awkward. That Thor could have put in a lot of damage, so... couple of ordering misplays here coming out from our good old friend, the Odin Bar. But then again, he's an aggro player. Aggro players don't exactly have a brain. So, now we're just gonna start again throwing out our stuff. I could possibly win this with just the 1 Canopic Jar, 1 Thoth, and what I have on board. There's a little bit of math that's done here, which is annoying, but... the math is fine. I think actually I might have this. So I got 5 mana, Thoth. I need 1 more mana, or what I can do is just kill off Bastet. So I will do that. I will kill off my Bastet, because that's fine. I can now play Thoth into the back. Oh, I get my other Canopic Jar. That's pretty nice. So what I can do now is I will throw down the Canopic Jar. I will then also throw out Khepri. Khepri's going to do a lot of things. He's going to get an Emperor's Health, and he's just going to do an absolute crud ton of damage, which you guys aren't going to see because the game's going to poop itself with a load of lag. There we go. It's now stopped lagging. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times, and that. We just did 21 damage in 1 turn. And now we're going to win. We're just going to win. If we play either one of these, we win. So from that regard, you can see the deck does stupid amounts of damage. And look, just this again, hit there, heal up. We hit for 8 this time. and the deck is nuts. You want minions on the board. Your goal can be to run with the minions you have on board and then just use your Canopic Jars. If, like I said, the ultimate combo is 2 Canopic Jars, 2 Thoths, and 2 Capreys. That is the purest combo that you can have, and it's amazing. It's absolutely stupid. Other variations of the deck, as I said, are going to be a little bit slower. They won't necessarily run things like Elder Harpy, but I think that at this point, the deck is as solid as it can be, and the deck just needs to be nerfed. It absolutely needs to be nerfed. We've mentioned to people like Scott Gandhi that this deck is stupid and it's stupid strong, but we're not getting any changes with this. Things like the Canopic Jar are still way too strong, especially in conjunction with Appeasement. Appeasement enables this to run super fast. Pharaoh's Health was a start to fixing this deck, but as soon as you add Thoth into the mix, Thoth just destroys Ra in a disgusting manner. The idea behind this being a control card is amazing and makes a lot of sense. You know, you have this in the backline. It kind of works like a Neath, except it works in multiple things that it hits. However, it hits the enemy Summoning Stone. That's not good enough. That's too good. You can't have that hit the enemy Summoning Stone because otherwise they're just going to put it on that row and hit the Summoning Stone. It's too strong. And with the amount of burst potential, I'll show you on screen. If you have, we've got, let's see, we're gonna work this out because this is the full combo. Let's just say you have 2 Canopic Jar, you have 2 Thoth, and 2 Capri. So you play the 2 Ra, or the 2 Thoth, sorry. You play the 2 Canopic Jar. It doesn't matter where the Canopic Jar go, and as long as the Thoth are on the same line as the Summoning Stone, it doesn't matter either. Well, there's only 2 spots of that, but you know what I mean. So you play those out. You then play 1 Capri. Capri deals 1 damage to the enemy Summoning Stone, so we'll keep a track of that. We then have 4 instances of healing, meaning that Canopic Jars each hit for 4, so that is 8, and then each Thoth hits 4 times. That means we have 16 plus 8 plus 1. Wait, is that 25 damage? I think it is. If my math is incorrect on that, then I will check. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 instances of healing. 1, 2 for each. 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus the 1 there. Yeah, that's pretty much just going to destroy everything. But then let's add in a second Capri, which is the exact same thing again, plus 1 instance of damage from each Thoth. So that's another 4 damage, plus another 1 instance of healing, so another 2 damage. So you're getting another 10 damage. Every minion that adds this in adds a 10 to this combo. Stupidity doesn't even give you the half of it. This is broken. I hope you have fun playing it, because the more people who are playing this, the more chances that people like Scott Gandhi and Adonis have to face against it, and hopefully we can get it through to them that this is not a good thing. We need to end this deck. This deck can't be seen at all. You just can't. It can't happen. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, my name has been Supersonic Blur. I do hope you enjoy running this deck. In terms of counters, there's kinda not really a counter. I hate to say that. I hate to say things like, oh, there's no counter to this, but there really isn't a counter. So I guess right now we just have to keep letting people know this is broken. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys thought about this deck, and are there any other decks in particular that you want me to go over, or anything else in general for content with Hand of the Gods or Smite. My name has been Supersonic Blur. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and favorite for more, to share this stuff so people know that it exists. You guys have been a fantastic audience, and I shall see you all next time.